Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the Oak Lawn Board of Trustees regular meeting. It's February 10th, 2015. It is about 7:30 p.m., 7:32 this evening. This is meeting number 2015-03. Clerk Quinlan, please take the roll.
President Barry,
Here.
Trustee Vorder,
Here.
Trustee Streit,
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan.
Here.
Trustee Olenichek.
Here.
Trustee Desmond.
Here.
And Trustee Carberry.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would everyone rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 2 on the agenda is public comments. We do not have public comments this evening. Item 4 on the agenda is conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone here have a conflict to disclose with any item on this evening's agenda? Hearing none, we're going to move on to item 5. This is the swearing in of police personnel. And is Chief...
Yeah, he's here, Chief.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to turn it over to Jane. Sure. We're going to call the officers up, please. Would Sergeant Edward Clancy please step up? Sergeant Eugene McNulty. Officer Daniel Wiora. Officer Joel Bess. Officer Kyle Rodriguez. Please come on up, gentlemen.
Want to come up here? guys?
All the way up. Officer James Bentley, Officer Patrick O'Donnell.
You guys all in order? Dan, Joel.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. We'll go down here first. Why don't you guys just move down a little bit? We'll put these right in the middle. We're going to do all you five. Did I tell you this together? Sergeants. Watch your first. Okay. All right. It's a real pleasure tonight to swear them in. All right, bud, just repeat after me. I, Edward Clancy,
I, Edward Clancy,
having been promoted
having been promoted
to the rank of police sergeant
to the rank of police sergeant
in the village of Oak Lawn, county of Cook,
in the village of Oak Lawn, county of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next to their families, or do you want me to? Oh, yeah. Okay. Gene? Same thing, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Same routine? Okay. I, Eugene McNulty,
I, Eugene McNulty,
having been promoted
having been promoted
to the rank of police sergeant
to the rank of police sergeant
in the village of Oak Lawn, county of Cook,
in the village of Oak Lawn, county of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
This is quite the chore now. Okay, so we're gonna get this right. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna say I, and then everybody repeat their name, and then from that on, repeat after me, all right? I'll go slow. Okay, we're gonna do this all at once. I
Daniel Wiora, Joel Bess,
Kyle Rodriguez,
James Bentley,
Patrick O'Donnell.
Beautiful. Having been appointed
Having been appointed
to the office
to the office
of Police Patrol Officers
of Police Patrol Officers
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Police Patrol Officer
of Police Patrol Officer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Great job. Want to invite them to make remarks to your family? Sure. Ned, would you like to make some remarks to your family? Do you want to start with Bud? Come on up, back up.
No, I'm good.
I appreciate that.
That's all right. Anybody? Well, I'm proud of them.
I will. I will.
Okay, Gino will. Come on up.
Jesus. I'd like to say my wife is here, Diana. My oldest daughter, Cassidy. Daughter number 2, Carolyn. My son, Gene. My Logan. Number 4, the caboose. My mom and dad are over there in the corner. And my sister and my brother-in-law were here, but I think you heard my nephew making some noise. And then a couple neighbors are here. And then my inspiration in law enforcement, Dan Olson.
Anyone else?
Any of you gentlemen?
Okay. We have a lot of family here. Why don't we introduce them? Anyone who has family?
My family's over here, my wife Kelly, my daughter Brianna, my son Buddy the 4th, and Connor's in the corner, waiting for it to end.
Thank you.
My little brother Liam, my father Rich, my mother Christine, and my little brother Zach.
Glenn Broden was my inspiration.
My wife Mary and my daughters Victoria and Evelyn are here, and then my mother and father-in-law Dan and Marcella Farrell.
My parents, Mike and Pam, my sister Amanda, her 2 little daughters, Madison and Amelia, and my girlfriend Leslie.
My parents, James and Deborah, and my sister and my brother Aaron and Daniel.
I got my father-in-law, Ken. So I'm on thin ice.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Congratulations. We are all very proud of you, and I want to thank all the family members for coming and sharing in this very happy moment. Thank you. We're going to wait just a moment while everyone can reunite with their families. Congratulations. Coming home. All right. Okay. Grab a copy of your agenda so I can read it. Just bring it back. I will.
Just go for it, 'cause they're all in order. You're not even gonna look at the name.
We have a lot of people in the hallway who are now going to take their seats, so it'll be just another moment. Okay. Item 6 on tonight's agenda. The Oaklawn Outlaws are in the house. The junior football team is being recognized today for getting second place in the Metro League. So we are so excited that they're here. I'm going to call their names up, and we have certificates for them. So as your name is called, please come on up, okay? And we have some who are still outside, or you're going to coordinate? Okay. So Corey McNicholas. Okay, we're looking for Corey. You're first, Corey. Come on up. Congratulations. We're very proud of you, sir. Great season. Dylan Scala.
Just walk around.
Dylan Scala. Okay. Xander Mays. Joe Barnhouse. Josh Ward. Ali Abuzadar.
Where's Joe? There you go, Josh.
You're Josh? Okay.
You're Josh? All right, wait a minute. Give me that back now. Okay.
Ali Abuzatar. John Chasen. Kayshan. Thanks.
Okay.
Miguel Pineda. Jake Crowley. John Bean. Chris Canvin. Dylan Summers.
Congratulations, buddy.
Josh Dewar. John McGowan. Nick Puente. Nick Janinga. Justin Palmer.
Congratulations, Nick.
Mark Veroso. Chris Caben. Joe Veroso. Landon Boyd. Scott Severs. Jimmy Martinez. Or Marinez, excuse me. James Mayen. Jalen Short. And Josh Carpenter. These are the Oaklawn Outlaws juniors. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations. Well done, well done. Thank you. Any coach want to come up and say a few words?
Don't need to say any words.
Come on up to the mic because no one at home can hear.
Okay. Thank you very much for this honor, and we'd just like to leave you guys with a little prayer that we did before every game. It propelled us to a 11-1 season before the Super Bowl. So I thought during our banquet, our football banquet, we were going to have it the one last time. However, Johnny Bean. All right. Well, I guess we're going Dylan Summers. Loud and proud, gentlemen.
Dear Lord, the battles go through life. We ask for a chance to fare. Chance to equal our stride. Chance to do or dare. If we should win, let it lead by code. Faith and honor held high. If we should lose, stand by the road. Cheers, the winners go by. Day by day. We get better and better. Till we can't be beat. Won't be beat.
Also, for anybody who's interested, we have sign-ups for Oaklawn Outlaws on March 6th and 7th. March 6th is from 6 to 8 p.m. at Oakview, and the 7th is 8 to noon, the same place. We represent, obviously, a very diverse range of children from age, obviously from age and ethnicity, from age 5 all the way to 14. We have a new program we instituted last year. We have a flag league now for the little guys, all the way up to the pre-high schooler guys. That most of these are going to head off to their respective high schools, and some of the ex trustees have had kids play for the Outlaws. That's right, Mr. Strite. I remember. But yeah, we love to have sign-ups, have a great number. We also have cheerleading, which again, for the same ages. And I think that's about it. And congratulations, guys.
Well done, guys. Thank you. Thank you. We're very proud of you.
Congratulations, guys. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Well done.
Thanks for doing it.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
Yes, nice job. One of the best football players ever coached. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Good job.
Congrats.
Good job.
Well, you could see why they're a winning team, can't you? That's great. Item 7 on our agenda is the Germazing race. Sorry, guys. It's the 5K run on Saturday, April 25th, 2015. I understand we have some people representing that event. Can you come to the podium, please? And this is Sarah and John, correct?
Yes.
Very good.
Hi, Mayor, Trustees, thanks for having us tonight. We are representing the St. Germain Parish and the St. Germain Race Committee for the 5th annual Germazing race on Saturday, April 25th. It'll be the 5th year in a row, and we are requesting continued support from the village. The Public Works Department and the Police Department have been very supportive with all we've done in the past, and we're looking forward to another successful event. It's a 5K run, a 5K walk, as well as a kids obstacle course. It's a great community event going through St. Germain Parish. It's a wonderful day, and hope to see the Oaklawn community and the surrounding communities take part in it.
Wonderful, wonderful. I would like a motion, please, to approve item 7 on our agenda.
Motion to approve.
Properly moved. I'm going to give it to Trustee Warder, and we had a second, I think, Trustee Strite. Any discussion? Please take the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oops.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations. I hope it's a great event.
We hope so.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by. Item 8 is the Running for Hope 5K Run Walk on Sunday, June 7th, 2015. Are there any representatives from this event here this evening? Okay, I'd like a motion, please, to approve item 8 on the agenda.
Motion to approve.
I'm going to give it to Trustee Strite this time, seconded by Trustee Warder. Any discussion here?
The first time we took it for something like that.
Please take the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Very good. I have a proclamation this evening for National Engineering Week. And I'm going to call some people to the podium. Is our village engineer here this evening? Nope. Okay.
Is he here? He's here.
He's here. Is he here? This is Lisa. And is Sis Killen here tonight?
Right on him.
Okay. Okay. Is Jack here? Sis? Come on up. You're an engineer.
Yes, I am.
Very good. And no sign of our village engineer. Okay, very good. So, whereas George Washington, the father of our country and its first president, was also one of its first engineers. And whereas in the United States, National Engineers Week is always the week of February, which encompasses George Washington's actual birthday, which is February 22nd. And whereas National Engineers Week is observed by more than 70 engineering, education, and cultural societies and more than 50 corporations and government agencies. And whereas the purpose of National Engineers Week is to call attention to the contributions to society that engineers make. And whereas it's also the time for engineers to emphasize the importance of learning math, science, and technical skills. And whereas the celebration of National Engineers Week was started in 1951 by the National Society of Professional Engineers in conjunction with George Washington's birthday, President Washington is considered as the nation's first engineer, notably for his survey work. Hello, Jack. And now, therefore, I, Dr. Sandra Berry, Village President of the Village of Oak Lawn, along with the Board of Trustees here, do hereby observe National Engineers Week from February 22nd to 28th, 2015 in the Village of Oak Lawn. Congratulations to our engineers.
Thank you.
And Sis, you know, we wanted to call you up here too, because you've really worked hard for Oak Lawn, and I wanted to particularly recognize you today for your help with, in particular, Central and Southwest Highway. You are born in Evergreen Park and raised in Oak Lawn. You're a true South Side girl through and through. At a very early age, you showed an interest in engineering and by constructing riding vehicles and various structures for your siblings made out of a plastic pipework set that you loved. Omaglas? How do you say?
Omegals.
Omegals, okay. You attended St. Catherine of Alexandria Grammar School and Mother Macaulay High School. You graduated with honors from the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Civil Engineering.
Impressive.
You've been a civil engineer now for 16 years, and you're currently the Assistant Superintendent for the Cook County Department of Transportation. This is a position that you've been in almost 2 years now. And you're married and you reside still on the south side in the Mount Greenwood neighborhood with your husband, Kevin, and their 3 children, Brendan, 6, Charlie, 4, and Bridget, 1. So we wanted to recognize all you do for Oak Lawn as well. I don't know if you want to say a few words, and I know, Alex, you might want to say a few words on how she helped with Southwest Highway. So anyone who wants to say anything, come on up to the mic.
I'm not going to say much. Just a huge thanks to Cook County. You guys are a ton of help. A very smooth project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to say that it was impressive to see from the first kickoff meeting at St. Gerald when we're sitting in the library talking about the traffic flow, which actually, if we would have done it the way that was requested, it would not have been a nice first day back at school. And Sis went out and actually watched how the traffic flow was going around the school and came up with a better plan and a better recognition. And all the way down to, that was a tight timeline of being able to say that you would get the extra lanes and everything up and going within, basically it was 45 days, and you only missed it because of weather by, 14 days?
Yeah, the snow started flying just a touch early this year. We weren't
Right.
expecting it to start flying November 10th.
But, I know that talking to the residents that go through that intersection at Central and Southwest Highway already have made a huge difference, not just to the people who live in the neighborhood, but also the people who go through that intersection. So thank you very much for, moving forward with a very fast-paced program and hitting your marks, and we appreciate it. And, the county really did a great job. Even some people talked about how well that went versus some of the state jobs that are going on. So thank you very much for your attention to detail and the work that you did.
Thank you, Trustee Olejniczak.
Thank you. I think our village manager would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor Sis. I just read a statistic today. I wish we had more of our young people here, but I still see some students in the audience. And that statistic was that today in America, only 11% of senior executive positions at the local and county level are held by women. not a good statistic, but you certainly have defied that statistic. You're in a special class, and you represent the future of young women in our country and what they can achieve. And St. Catherine's, University of Illinois, honors right here on the south side. Sis, you've been outstanding. And for the benefit of Trustee Quinlan, I know that you're going to be working with Superintendent Yonan and the village on the 103rd drainage project between Cicero and Central. Very important project for this community, and I applaud you for that. And I still like to see what those riding vehicles are that you made for your siblings out of plastic pipes.
They actually still have them online. I tried to get them for my kids this year at Christmas. They're only available in the UK. And I tried to order them and get them here, but I couldn't figure out how to work the PayPal site. So I can design roads, we can bring forth multi-million-dollar projects, but I could not work PayPal for the UK site.
That could be for our children's museum. I mean, that may be a nice display from Cook County Department of Transportation, pipe vehicles.
We'll have to speak to Commissioner Daly about that and see what we can do.
Okay. Thank you, sis.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, and congratulations to our engineers, and especially thank you for coming out. Thank you. We have one more proclamation, but I have to go get it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Would Mr. Frank Fabian please come up, and would you like to bring your friends? Sure. I see you all have the same outfits. I like that.
I figured I'd bring this with.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to make this thing all possible.
So keep that nearby, and I'm going to read this proclamation here. Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for coming out. We're so happy you're here. This is a Village of Oaklawn proclamation honoring Frank Fabian. Whereas Frank Fabian first sang Irish songs for his grandmother when he was only 3 years old. And whereas Frank Fabian sang in the church choir as a youngster, then as a teenager with the St. Rita High School chorus, and whereas Frank Fabian joined the newly formed Beverly Hills chapter of the Barbershop Quartets in 1963. And whereas Frank Fabian sang in several different barbershop quartets over the years and was the director of many chapters, and whereas Frank Fabian received the ABE, that's the Award for Barbershop Excellence, in September 2014. This award is given in recognition for significant sustained achievement in barbershopping. This is the highest award given to an Illinois district barbershopper. Now, therefore, I, Dr. Sandra Berry, Village President of the Village of Oaklawn, along with the Board of Trustees, congratulate Frank Fabian on this wonderful, prestigious award. Dated the 10th of February, 2015. My heartfelt congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor, we have a song, don't we?
Somebody said we couldn't get away without singing.
Okay. Would you like to introduce who's here?
Okay, sure. From left to right, Don Miller, our baritone, John Q. Morris, our bass, Ernie Kopp, an Oaklawn resident for many, many years, the tenor. And we've been singing a few years together, and here's how it goes. We're singing, hi neighbor, what do you know and what do you say? Hi neighbor, throw all your worries away. We're here to entertain you in the Fermata style. So throw your cares and troubles aside for a while. We're singing, hi neighbor, my neighbor. Now's the time to say hi. Now's the time to say hi.
All right, yeah.
I just got to say that Alex Olenichek there, I sang in his mother's choir, I don't know how many years ago. He says before he was born. Anyway, a couple more songs. Since this is a kind of a fun meeting, you're not really getting into the nitty-gritty, as I can tell yet. So we're going to sing When There's Love at Home. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. There is beauty all around when there's love at home. There is joy in every sound when there's love at home. Peace and plenty here abide, smiling sweet on every side. Time does softly, sweetly glide when there's love at home. Love at home. Love at home. Time does softly, sweetly glide when there's love at home. All our loved ones drawing nigh as we raise our voices high. Blessed are we, and we know why. When there's love at home, when there's love at home. I would just like to say that there is currently no barbershop chapter in the Oak Lawn Village. There used to be. We used to meet at Richards High School. We met at Oak Lawn High School. And now for me to sing barbershop, I've either got to go out to Orland Park or to the northwest side of Chicago where these two guys are from. So I would love to get a new chapter going in this area. And if there's anybody, or if you know anybody who's so interested, have them talk to me, Frank Fabian, the singer. And so we normally end our program wherever we go with this song because our world is so full of tension that we'd like there to be peace. So it's Let There Be Peace on Earth. Excuse me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. I gotta say, the last time I sang for a village board meeting was in the old village hall. Thank you very much
Thank
for the
you.
proclamation.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations. We're so honored that you came to share your talent with us tonight. Thank you. We really appreciate it. So I really like that selection of songs for our village board meeting. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving on to item 11. Our village treasurer is Pat O'Donnell, and Pat has very, very sadly told me that he's moving on. So I'm going to turn the floor
If every meeting was
over.
like this, I would have maybe considered.
So I wanted Pat to have a few moments for outgoing remarks, and with him is Brian Hannigan, our finance director. And Pat, you have the floor.
Yeah, next time I show up here, I'm going to bring the band. We're going to have a little jam session.
Hope this isn't going to be a buzz.
It says village treasurer's outgoing marks, but me and Brian are gonna double team this just like we started 19 months ago. And first, I'd just like to thank all the treasurers, trustees, the treasurers, the trustees, the mayor, Brian, Joanne, everyone. It's been a great experience for myself. I've really enjoyed myself. I've learned a ton about the village, what makes it work, some of the challenges, and wish you all good luck. So. Thanks. But with that said, she gave me 8 minutes to give a little spiel, so I couldn't refuse the opportunity to kind of talk about just a couple things that I've been harping on you guys for a while now. So you're good? Oh, I gotta do some? Thanks. First of all, we made some tremendous progress over the last 20 months. The 10-year trend of increasing debt has been reversed. If this year you follow through on some of the budgeted items, we'll have actually reduced the debt by about $15 million. Now, a large portion of that's going to be to the sale of 111th Street, but still it's quite an achievement. The police and fire pension contributions, which for the previous 4 years before we started this 20 months, averaged about $2 million a year, is now at almost $5 million a year. We decreased the village portion of property taxes by 3.5%. That's might seem like a small percentage number, but it's about $600,000 that we didn't take away from our residents. 111th Street, I already said we're going to sell. Hopefully that sale is completed this spring. There's been a couple other great financial accomplishments, which I had no part of, and that's Mayor Larry, Brian, trustees. Big financial wins with, I'm going to lose my voice here a second, Christ Hospital, the water system, creating of the water system, where we, now we're for the first time getting actually paid for our, thanks, that'd be great, for our management of that system, as well as the 911 privatization. But most importantly, I think we've begun to think longer term regarding our pension funding and a level debt. I think this board should be very, very proud of its accomplishments. I'm going to just kind of hit a couple of just key topics. I only got a couple minutes here, so I'm going to be quick. But this was a slide that actually Brian showed, and I don't think I comprehended it when he showed it last time. And as I was always trying to say that we should take a lot of our pain hard and early because I didn't want the compounding effect and put it out, Brian kind of took a different approach that said, hey, what happens if we have to sit there and we have to solve this problem over the next 5 years between now and 2020? And so that column that says amount in millions, that's basically going, starting for this year, 2015, where we're going to throw out $4.9 million. That's what we're going to throw into both the police and the fire pensions. And then if we systematically, linearly take it up to where we need to get to be by 2020, it just so happens that it is a round number, it's $10 million. Couple things I'd like to point out here. It took us quite a lot of work to get to sort of 2.4 million in putting into the pensions to 4.9, and we sort of did a lot of that on the back of taking it out on the street. We took the streets from sort of the $8 and $9 million level of spending down to $2 or $3 million level of spending. I don't think anybody thinks that we can take that number down further. So the further sort of pain has got to come from somewhere else. And probably in the area of either people, pensions, or compensation, or you guys got to think real creatively, and we got to sit there and raise some money in a different way. And even if we did do this, if we hit this, we do exactly what this thing says, and we hit 10 million in 2020. It's not like the problem's solved, but we'll at that point be at 65 to 66% of funded pensions. And this is not our numbers. This is the actuarians' numbers. So, did you want to add anything?
No, I think the one thing to point out here is, even with the increased pension contributions, which we're still going to be below. If you look at 2018, we're still below where the current law, as it sits right now. We still would have about $800,000 of the village's sales tax going into pension funding. So this grid that we've put together, and I have to tell you that Pat's time with me the last 20 months, I think the village should be very honored to have what Pat's done with Joanne and I, with Larry and this board, because the cost of some of the time that Pat has spent, well, I know that. I can take a few minutes myself. But I think it's important to understand exactly what we're trying to do over this last 20 months to try to attack some of these long-term liabilities that the village has. And if you look at where we're at in 2019, 2020, the discipline that we've kind of put in place with debt service is going to then turn into pension funding. But even with these increased contributions, under the current law, we're still below where we need to be.
Cool. Next two slides I'll hit real quick, but you guys have seen these before, which is, and if the answer is, go after taxes, 85% of our taxes comes from basically sales, income, and property tax. And we don't have much control over the income tax. The sales tax, the previous administration raised. On the property tax side, we're already at a pretty high percentage. Our taxes as a percentage of a home value is about 3.1%. And if you look, this is basically, if you look at the 806 counties that make up the United States, we'd be at the high end. Now, this numbers are as of 2010, and they don't have updated numbers. These numbers don't come up very often, unfortunately. I think they only come up every census or so, so I don't think we're actually at that bad, but I still think we're in sort of the top 5% of our, in the nation in terms of property taxes, and so I really don't think there's, much we can do in terms of that area. That's my 2 cents. So, you want to hit that one?
Just run through this. This is just kind of give the average salaries of our different employee groups relative to Oakland residents, just based on the current, our different union groups. So I think we can kind of go right through that. One of the things that we're looking at very closely is looking at the village's asset base. And if you look at the far right column, quadrant, there's a number of property sales that Larry, Steve Radis have already started, but there's a number of properties that I think we can sell with the idea that any sales that would be one-time sales would go to either reduce debt or to increase pension funding. So I think one of the things we have to do over these next 3 to 4 years is constantly look at the village asset base and trying to make it a more efficient use. Can you flip to the next one? If you look at what we've done, I think the village has kind of been in the property ownership too much. I think you're going to see some of that peeled off in May with our closing scheduled for 111th and Cicero. And I think what we've done in the Target transaction, where we share sales tax with store owners like Target, as opposed to outright purchase, is the way to go. The other side, I talked about the asset base evaluation. And again, our goal in these next 3 to 4 years is to be disciplined about our debt pay down and just to reduce pension underfunding.
So conclusions, I told you I'd be quick. If the consensus isn't to sit there and take really hard cuts, and then either, I would lean toward either not hiring or freeze pensions and convert people to defined contributions, or otherwise I think it's relatively obvious that the pensions will kill you. I'd also suggest that you guys keep on decreasing the overall debt. That's your one chance to sit there and sort of keep up with things. Habitually update the 4-year operating and financial plans. I hope you get that stays after I leave. I think there's going to be a lot of changes going on the legal front, and I think Rauner's going to make a lot of changes, and it's going to be important to be flexible, and you guys continue to be thinking ahead. As I said, I don't think you can tax your way out of this. I put up a point about the library. I don't think I was successful. I think that at the end of the day, if I stayed a little bit longer, I would be pushing hard for you guys to make sure that, I think traditionally, since the library always had a separate board, that this group of trustees has habitually kind of let them do what they wanted in terms of things. I think that if I was here, I'd push real hard for you guys to sit there and rethink that. I think it's ultimately your responsibility to kind of look at between making the hard trade-offs if we need more library services or we need more policemen or we need more tax reduction. You guys have to make the ultimate cuts in that. So to Joe, if you ever get asked questions and the answers come back a little bit, just not clear cut and stuff like that, you're on the right path, push harder. So again, let me thank everybody. It's been awesome. You guys exceeded my expectations in terms of what you guys accomplished as a board. Just a fantastic job, and I really appreciate working with all of you. So see you around the town.
Thank you, Pat.
Does any of the board want to say anything as Pat leaves? Okay, I'm going to let Tim go first.
Okay.
I would just like to thank Pat for the great work he's done. He's really simplified this in layman's terms for all of us to understand it a little clearer. At least for me, anyway, I understand it a little clearer. So thank you, Pat.
Thank you. And Trustee Warder.
Pat, I want to thank you for all the meetings you had with me, okay? Making this as simple as it can be for a layman. You've put your heart and soul into this with no compensation. I thank you for your contributions to the village, and I wish you Godspeed on your next adventure.
Thank you. Trustee Quinlan.
I just want to say thanks, Pat. I know it's not an easy job dealing with a lot of different and very strong personalities. And weaving your way through that, you've done a great job for us and truly appreciate your time and your efforts.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor.
Trustee
Thank you.
Carberry.
Yeah, thank you very much in your commitment. I think on the police, the fire, and public works, your commitment to funding these pensions, it should be recognized. And there's not many municipalities today that have increased their contributions to pensions.
If you look like what you guys accomplished over the last 20 months, not only, double.
Can you get the mic to him, please?
20 months, not only doubling the pensions, but we're actually cutting taxes and reducing debt. You guys should be really proud. I mean, you guys are the guys that vote, so congratulations.
Yeah, and I think that you bringing it to light, and Brian and Joanne and everybody. I hope they recognize that, because you hear a lot of who supports the police and fire, and it becomes politics. Well, you put the politics out of it with the money and the commitment, and you did a great job of doing that. And I think they recognize that too. So that's good for them, and it's good for our departments. I think it's good for the morale that you're trying to protect their investment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Trustee Olenichek.
You could tell a lot about a person by their willingness to pull up their arm sleeves and get to work. And one of the things that I wasn't getting across to Pat, because he's very visual and not too theoretical, was the importance of street and infrastructure. So this poor man spent 4 hours on a Saturday driving around, not just Second District. Bob, I think you saw us out in your district that day looking at some of the infrastructure issues over by the creek. But he actually was willing to listen to what needed to be done and understand the importance of, yes, we have to be fiscally responsible, but we also need to make sure that we have money to put to the things that are needed in the village. And, just the financial genius that he brought to the table and the foresight that he gave, I wish all the residents could understand exactly the quality of individual that he is, and his willingness to meet Saturdays, Sundays, any day of the week to discuss the village finance and how we can make something work. So I appreciate all your hard work and effort. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Anyone else? I've got go ahead.
Thank you, Pat. I'll miss you coming up all the time, so thank you for everything.
See you in Sisters Lake.
See you there.
And you could always come by anytime, Pat. I just want to thank you for the incredibly great gift you gave us with your talent and time. In particular, that long view that you gave us. We're so in the moment here. Let's balance this budget. Let's fix this problem. You really said, "Whoa, this is not your problem." But that gorilla 5 years out is the big problem. If you don't act now, it's going to compound and snowball. And that is incredible gift you gave us. The clarity of your thoughts with the financials, I will sincerely miss, and I appreciate. Most residents think, that this is a paid position, and it is. However, this gentleman here took not a penny in salary and camped out weeks at a time, digging into numbers that would make any normal human being just explode. And he'd be like, "Oh, look at this number, it should reference this, if these two go here." I mean, what a great gift. You have an incredible talent and mind, and I thank you. And I just wish you the very best. And, you may be called for some special mayoral projects in the future. And you did this because you love Oak Lawn sincerely, and you want this to be the great town for your children that it is for us today. And that is probably one of the kindest things a person can do for their community. And you're class act,
you very
and we
much.
are going to miss you.
Thank you
So.
very much. One more shout out, Joanne and this gentleman here were fantastic during this whole thing, and they got me up to speed and spent countless hours in the basement with no windows.
No air.
On weekends.
No air.
And always, we were always transparent and just fantastic.
I could always tell the look in their eyes when they would come up after looking at the numbers for like 5 hours in the little dark room down there. But best of luck to you, Pat, and let's give him a round of applause, please.
Going to Clancy's for beers if anybody wants.
Okay. So we are moving on. Item 12 on our agenda is the appointment of Village Treasurer Joseph Skibinski. Joe, would you like to come up to the podium so residents can see you, and if anyone has questions they could ask you? This is an important position, and we are so honored that you are taking on the challenge.
Kind of the public speaking requirement.
I'm sorry. I just want a more public display. This is our new treasurer, pending approval of the board. And I just want to know, does anyone have any questions for him before we take the vote?
Please.
Okay. So we're going to vote on this item. This is the appointment of village treasurer Joe Skibinski. Joseph Skibinski, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by trustee Vorder, seconded by trustee Carberry. Any discussion? Let's take that vote.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And would you like to introduce your wife who's here this evening also?
My wife Marla.
Hi, Marla. Thank you
Has
for
been
coming.
kind enough to put up with me for this whole process and all the other work I've been doing going into tax season. So I'm looking forward to working with the board and the staff at the village.
Thank
It's going to
you.
be a great experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Joe.
Item 13 tonight is the ComEd presentation on smart meters. This is the most exciting thing to happen here. We have a few people from ComEd. We've got, first of all, Miguel. Would you like to come up? Miguel Ortega, please come to the podium. And you're here with Katie. Would you like to come up? And then we have Richard O'Toole from the ComEd Smart Meter Department, and you're the Director of Customer Strategy and Automated Meter Installation. So this is super exciting for residents. I appreciate very much you coming out this evening, and let's hear your presentation. What is going on with ComEd, and what are smart meters?
Well, it's our pleasure to be here, and we're going to turn this right over to Rich. He's the one who's got all the detail. Rich
Okay.
O'Toole.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks,
Thank
Miguel.
you, Miguel.
And on behalf of ComEd, I'd like to thank the village president, Burry, and all the trustees for giving us a few of their precious minutes tonight. I know you're getting on to an hour, so I will be brief. So just quick background. My name is Rich O'Toole. I am the director of the Smart Meter Project at ComEd. I was the first employee in 2007 to start up the project, so I've been with it for 7 years. A lot of history in 7 years on this project. I'm excited to be here tonight as a Southsider from Dalton, okay, that started at 76th and Lawndale. So it's always great to come back out to the south suburbs and not having to make the trips to the north suburbs to talk about the Smart Meter Project. So thank you for that too, for where you're located. So with that background, it started with legislation, real quick, the project. We're going to do a bunch of upgrades to our system, including smart meters. So this is one of like 10 projects. It is the biggest one, and it's going to take us from 2013 to 2018. So you guys are pretty much on the front end of it. We're already 800,000 meters in to 4 million. Okay, so 800,000 meters, mostly in the south side of Chicago, the near west suburbs of Chicago, and now we're reaching the south suburbs, and we're heading up to the northwest suburbs as we speak. We'll start getting meters into this community towards the end of March, and it will take us close to the end of the year. So it does take quite a while to make our way through a town as big as Oak Lawn. Oak Lawn is a fairly good size community for us, but it's not the only place. We're 4 places at once. We spread our resources out to do this. Why are we doing it? 2 main reasons. One is operational savings. Believe it or not, I take a lot of pride in that this project's going to deliver over $100 million a year in operational savings when we're fully deployed. Those savings go right back to our customers. We do not keep it, do not go to our shareholders, go right back to our customers, you guys. So I'm very proud about that. The other key thing about it is it detects outages. These meters tell us when they lose power, they tell us when they get power restored. Very helpful in storms. We already been using it since the pilot in 2009 and quite excited about those capabilities. The second major reason for doing it is all optional. This is all optional. You don't have to do any of this. These meters provide retail providers. You guys are a community that has retail providers. They can offer you alternative pricing programs because these meters can store data every hour, and they can come up and get creative. We also have a special project, a program tied to it called Peak Time Savings. You don't have to do it, don't have to participate, don't have to switch suppliers. You stay with your current supplier. But if you want to participate in hot summer days, decrease your load, you can save money. If you don't, no penalty. It's the easiest game around. You just reduce your load, we'll give you some money back in the summertime. That's called Peak Time Savings. So those of you that get meters before this summer will have that opportunity. You'll get literature making you aware of that. So how many customers, by the way, we already have over 20,000 customers on Peak Time Savings out of the 800,000. How are you going to know we're coming? There's a few steps involved. Direct mail piece in your bill. A lot of people don't look at their bills, so they may not look at that. Then we send you a postcard. This is about 60 days in advance. This is about 45 days in advance. And then about 30 days in advance, a letter. And it explains the installation process. We have a dedicated phone number you can call. It's listed on here to talk to a dedicated team. And then the week before, auto blast call. This is a script. Call your phone, leave a voice message if you're not there, or it's an automated, auto-taped call. And then the day of, a technician knocks on your door. They're a ComEd employee. They have a badge like this, just like I do. It says they're a ComEd employee. They have ComEd clothing, ComEd hard hat. They're in a ComEd vehicle, white vehicle, ComEd logo on it. We'll have a bunch of them in the neighborhood. You can't miss them. So if someone's knocking on the door claiming they're smart meter and they have nothing that says ComEd, don't trust them. They're ComEd. Everything on them is ComEd. Can't miss it. Not that we had any issues. Just point that out just to make sure you're aware of it. And we have created a dedicated team of people. Because what we find is some people have some concerns about smart meters. Nothing's ever like, let's say, contentious free. So we do have a dedicated team trained to deal with questions like, these meters, they cause fires. These meters invade my privacy. These meters cause cancer. These meters are going to get hacked and my private information is going to get stolen. Those are the most 4 common themes we hear, and we've been hearing them since 2009. We have a dedicated team to help them understand it, research it on their own, give them some good direction on that, and hopefully convert them to take the meter. We've had less than 0.15% of all customers decline a meter. Out of 800,000, we've had 1,100 customers refuse a meter. they do have a consequence for those 1,100 that they then have to pay an extra cost every month on their bill, because now we have to keep a meter reader just to drive to their house, because all the other meters are automated and we don't need a meter reader in that neighborhood anymore. So those people are willing to pay. They are paying a fee. They don't like it, but they are paying a fee. So there is an option to refuse it. That only is good until the end of the project in 2019. We should be done by 2018. You got one more year after the project, and then you'd have to take the meter. And with that, I went fast. I apologize for talking really fast, but I know you guys are well into your meeting, so I'll stop there. I can talk on, but I won't. And if you have any questions for me, be happy to field them. Yes.
Just one quick question. Where exactly is the meter located at your home?
I get to use my props. I almost forgot. Thanks for asking the question.
You're welcome.
About a third of our customers' meters are indoor because of multi-unit buildings, but predominantly single-family meters or single-home meters are outside, but not always. So if they are indoor, when we knock on the door, if you're home, you let us in. If you're not home, we leave a card to say, sorry we came by, or if you called us in advance, we can set up a time when you're going to be home. The old meter, I show the back side for people because they don't look any different. We pull the old meter out, we inspect the fitting, the fitting that the meter goes on, and then we put the new one in, okay? So on the front, they look different. Electromechanical, rotating devices, solid state, radio, low-powered radio in it. That's basically the difference. So to answer your question, the meter is likely outside on single-family homes, but some are indoor. And you can either set up an appointment with us, or if you're normally home and you let the meter reader in, you just let the technician in.
Okay, because if you're not home, they will just install it.
Yes, we will. If we have access to the backyard, no lock gate, no dog left out, we will go and exchange it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Any
you.
other-
Trustee Olenichek.
Yeah, you say that we're on the implementation schedule. Do you have a schedule specifically for Oak Lawn and what geographical areas?
Yeah, yes, we do, and I can work with Katie afterwards. I didn't bring any color-coded maps or anything like that, but we build these color-coded maps because we show by meter reading route how the guy reads the meters today. That's how we change the meters out. So we start on the very north side, north edge of Oak Lawn at the end of March, and then we work our way around the town based on these reading routes. So it's a little convoluted because it's by meter reading routes.
So
And
how
so
long
we have color-coded maps for that.
How long do you think it's going to take?
Till the
before-
end of the year, from like March to the end of the year.
So that's
about 1,000 meters to 3,000 meters a month, and there's 26,000 meters in Oak Lawn, so they're spread out across the last 9 months of the year.
And a resident can actually help themselves on the energy if they were to play the hourly index with this meter.
Yeah, and we do have a program like that today called Residential Real-Time Pricing, and this just makes it more convenient having this meter.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you really want to save some energy, there are times in the middle of the night where it doesn't cost you any money to run your electricity.
That's correct. Yeah, the time-based rates are correct. Generation prices fluctuate by the hour. So some people like to take that risk. A lot of people don't, but you can, and these meters will let you do that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's optional. You don't have to do that, by the way. I just like to say that that's all optional.
That's great. That's great. Any other questions for ComEd? We are very excited about this, and I really love that if your power goes out, it will automatically call and report that. Because I always, think, if I'm at work and my power goes out,
You just don't know.
yeah, I could come home to a big mess
Yeah.
in my
Hopefully then
refrigerator.
you come home to lights back on and things are just blinking. You wondered what happened, right?
I've no doubt.
Thank you. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Really appreciate you coming out. Thank you very much. Yeah, and Oak Lawn is honored to be one of the earlier communities getting this, and I appreciate your work in particular on this for us. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I have one quick
Okay, one more question. Hang on.
Sorry, can I ask you a quick question? So your point about being gone and you
Mhm.
losing power with these smart meters, can they tie into a cell phone? Do you have that technology
Yeah,
yet,
that's
or-
a really good question. We have different mobile applications for power outage alerts, and Miguel can answer that better than me. That's possible?
Yeah, we have, you can actually sign up today, you don't need the meter, you can sign up for text messaging.
And it'll let you know that you've no
We'll
power?
send you a text to let you know when the outage occurred, that it occurred. Once we determine what the ECR is, we keep that down, we'll text you with that. And actually, you can actually sign up, pay it for
Could you say that at the microphone? There are people who aren't here who will be watching it on TV, and I know they'll want.
Sorry.
That's okay, Miguel. Thank you.
We have a couple of mobile options. One of them, probably the most secure, easiest to do, is the text messaging. We will text you when there's an occurrence of an outage. We will automatically send you a text to let you know that we know about your outage. Then we'll send you another text telling you that what the estimated restore time, if it wasn't included in the first text. And the last text is, hey, some customers have been restored in your area. If you're still out, respond with a 1 or, that you're still out, and we'll know that you're still out of power. That's today. With the meters, we'll still be able to do the same thing, but we'll know, that your power is back on, and maybe the message will look something different. Also, you can download the app, and the app you can also do the same thing and get information.
Okay, thanks.
Great.
Oh, one other thing, I got to say this. I have an elderly parents, and you can actually sign up to 3 text accounts. So I know when my parents' house goes out of power too. So that's a nice feature that I like too.
That's very good.
Oh, so there's this thing called a vanity URL. So if you go to the web and you type ComEd.com/text, it'll take you right to our website of how you can sign up for it. You can also go ComEd.com/app, APP, and it'll tell you how to download the app as well.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, ComEd. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. Okay. Well, it looks like we're starting the actual business portion of the meeting. We have item 14 tonight, approval of meeting minutes, regular meeting minutes, 2015-02, dated January 27th, 2015. May I have a motion on this item, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Carberry,
I'll second.
seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's take the vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 15 tonight is new business by village trustees. We're going to switch it up again and start in District 6. I'm sorry I didn't give you warning, Mike.
It's okay. No comments on there. Thank you.
No report? Okay. District 5, Trustee Quinlan.
I know Public Works is not here, but maybe, Larry, you might be able to address this. I was out of town all of last week, so fortunately for me, I was out of town during the blizzard and the storm. But I did receive a lot of complaints about the condition of the snow plowing. And one of the big questions is the use of salt. There is just not a clear understanding of, number one, people have been asking me, is the village just not using salt? Are they just dropping it at the stop signs? One part of Oak Lawn was salted. Someone told me like 105th. You went on one side, on the other side of Cicero, had been salted, and my side was not salted. And those are snow routes. And also, are we cutting down on the times of our people out on the street actually plowing?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to answer that.
If we could clarify,
I can
what
answer it right
exactly
now.
our policy is, that would be great.
Well, first of all, the policy is, number one, we averaged 22 pieces of equipment on the street. We were 24/7 for a period of the 3 days of the event. The snow and ice event defined as a 3-day period, 24 hours. And during each of those shifts, we operated 22 pieces of equipment, and they were 12-hour shifts that were operated. And so there was no change or deviation in the policy. The judgment as to when to apply salt is made by the Public Works team. They have the outdoor temperature, the temperature of the pavement, which we monitor. And given the storm, given the drifting of snows, the blizzard conditions, I did send a notice, and you were included, trustee, informing the board that you could anticipate once the snow ceased, you'd be getting complaints about a snow-covered pavement on the residential local streets, not the main streets. Pretty natural. If I was here, if I was in Naperville, for example, you would find the same condition. You'd get what's called a wet street, where the ice is, where the snow or the salt is applied on your main routes, and for the most part, your snow routes. But we were going to have snow-covered streets, and we also knew what the temperature fluctuations were going to be. It was that type of a storm. We did not use less salt. I can tell you that what was known as Storm Linus, it dumped 21.8 inches of snow in 30 hours. That is the snowfall for January of 2014. The entire month of January 2014 last year was 22.53 inches. In terms of salt, we have our purchase that has been made by contract is 4,500 tons, 4,500 tons. And to date, we've utilized approximately 3,000 tons of that. So we did not spare salt, but the crews apply that with their supervisors, Steve Barrett, as they see fit. But again, we knew this storm was going to have some snow-packed streets on the residential area for a period of time. We also knew what the warming trend was. We knew that we were going to be getting blue skies and a melting period. Those are the facts.
Okay, I mean, I know that I wasn't here, and so it's difficult to address it, but like I said, just from the number of complaints, in particular snow routes, but it still doesn't explain, why one side of 105th Street would be, obviously had been salted and another not, and what temperature? I did some reading on it. I went online and I Googled, when is it not effective? And, I understand after, when it hits 20 degrees, it's not as effective. And yet it still will do its job, just slower.
Well,
So-
one thing you don't want to be doing not only from a snow, you don't want to be plowing salt. You want to be plowing snow. So that, again, there's conditions. For example, when does the storm hit? In this case, we were working our responsibility for the commuters on Monday morning. This storm was evolving as Sunday went through, and our responsibility is to safely allow commuters to get on the train, because Metra was not canceling. There were delays, but the Southwest Metra did run, and we were handling that. We didn't want to be plowing salt. So we had salted earlier, we plowed, we kept plowing several times, 2 shifts, and then we would apply the salt. Some of the residential areas we were plowing, but not applying that salt till we made additional passes, primarily because of parked vehicles on the street. We did monitor accidents, which is another measure of the effectiveness of the crews in doing their job. The number of reported police reports for accidents was not at all much different than it was during the last serious storm, which was actually the same period of time, almost February 2nd through the 5th of 2011. That was the last large storm of this magnitude. And the week before, the number of traffic accidents recorded this year in the storm were not much different than the number of accidents that were policed by our Oak Lawn Police Department during the storm. So that's a pretty good indicator that not only did folks heed the warnings, Trustee, that were being sent out on Facebook, put on Channel 4, and I can tell you on Monday and on Tuesday, and usually there's a lag in the complaints, and the complaints were coming in, for the most part, did not peak or exceed what we've experienced in the past as far as complaints. We'll get our share of complaints. They may number 200. When you got 200 miles of streets and 56,000 folks, that's a small number. I get more compliments, and so does Steve, relative than complaints. Every complaint we get, we try to address either through email, telephone call. I will return a call or take a call that Public Works and our assistants in the front office with Jane feel need to have additional attention by me, I will take those calls personally. Most folks that I spoke to were pretty considerate in understanding once I explained what I'm explaining right now about the nature of the storm. Trustees call on a regular basis. They send me emails. They contact Steve. We do our best to pinpoint each one of those. We work with the Postal Service.
Steve was great whenever, I shot him an email letting
Yep.
him know that someone was blocked, couldn't get out, their street hadn't been plowed.
And Steve was
He
very
personally would
appreciative of
take a
all the
look at it.
trustees. All the trustees, I think, according to Steve, were respectful and calmly got the complaints to the attention. But from a public safety standpoint, I think once again, police and Public Works did an outstanding job. Fire rescue, if we've got a complaint about a fire hydrant where someone felt a fire hydrant was being blocked, fire rescue routinely set a squad out and a crew to address that. I can't think of any life safety issues that crews did not address 24/7.
Yeah, I think mainly people are comparing to thinking that the streets, and I remember, what was it, 3-4 years ago, we ran out of salt. And we had to get more salt. And so I don't know if this was a conscious decision, to not use as much salt, because it did cost the village more to have to go get more salt.
We did not at all alter. As a matter of fact, we actually have more salt this season because of that. Actually, in the year 2013-14, that snow season, we actually purchased 20% over our state bid contract. So we used over 6,000 tons of salt last year. As I mentioned, we purchased 4,500 tons for this year. We've only used 3,000 to date. And Steve was very clear. We didn't alter our policy as far as applying salt.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Carol. Trustee Vorderer.
Thank you, Madam President. I had the opportunity today to attend a luncheon, the Oakland Chamber of Commerce luncheon at the Hilton. And the mayor gave a presentation on the state of the village. I was joined by Clerk Quinlan. And I think the mayor did a great job. I think it will be on Channel 4, and I recommend people take the time to watch that. It kind of summarizes where this village is at today financially and where it's going in the future. It was a good job.
Thank you.
And I just want to comment on the storm, too. I got my first call and complaint at 1 a.m. in the morning on Super Bowl Sunday in the height of that blizzard. Somebody was complaining on the way home from the storm, there was snow on the street. Well, I recall listening to the news to say this is a major blizzard. Turned out to be the 5th worst storm in the history of the city of Chicago. And I think the difference between the 5th and the 1st might have been 1 inch. I remember the news saying if you go out, take blankets and water. Be prepared for survival. You went to a Super Bowl party at 1 in the morning and there's snow on the street. But, Monday and Tuesday, pretty much that's all they did all day long was respond to these type of situations. But every time I had a legitimate complaint, and some of them were legitimate, streets weren't plowed as well as people expect. I think we get a little spoiled in this town because this street department does such a great job. I called Steve, I called him, and there was a plow there to take care of these little individual patches. So, was it perfect? No. Was it a major storm? Yes. I think all in all, we did as best job that human beings can do. And I just want to cap with that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay. District 3, Trustee Straight.
Thank you, Mayor. As some of you know, I maintain a District 3 newsletter for my constituents, which is put out through the 3rd District Constituent Service Office. Now, there's a section called Community News, which is open not only to individuals for their news, but also to civic organizations such as scouts and churches for their events as well. I feel it's important that we keep the small town feel by participating in local activities and supporting each other. Please send me an email at robertjstrite@aol.com or call my office at 708-422-3600 to let me know of your upcoming events, or if you'd like to be added to my list to receive the newsletter. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And District 2, Trustee Olenichek.
After hearing the barbershop quartet and the invite to join, I would like to know, Bob, would you join me in joining the barbershop quartet? I really think it would help.
I don't sing anywhere but the shower, Alex.
Very good. That concludes my report.
All I gotta say is, oh my. District 1.
I'll go with you, Alex.
All right.
Okay. I have no business. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, so item 16, Village Manager's Report. Larry?
Nothing more to add, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, so 17 tonight is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a site plan review. This is for Thornton's at 9138 South Cicero Avenue. This was a 7-0 vote to approve petition 2014-24. The petitioner is Thornton's Incorporated in District 2, and then 18 tonight is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion, please, on
Motion to
item
approve.
17 and 18, properly moved by Trustee Olenichek,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Now, we have the petitioners here. Would you like to say hello and just tell people what you're doing? Okay, if you could come to the podium and just introduce yourself, and please let us know if you're an Oak Lawn resident.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Jode Ballard, 10101 Lynn Station Road, Louisville, Kentucky. I'm not an Oak Lawn resident. We're here seeking approval for the site plan to improve and revitalize our facility at 9138 Cicero Avenue. With me tonight is our real estate manager who covers the Chicago market.
Hi, my name is Tony Rubino. As Jode said, I am the real estate manager for the Chicago area. I'm not an Oak Lawn resident. I'm a Grays Lake resident. So, any questions?
Very good. Any questions for?
No, I would just
Trustee
like to
Olenichek?
thank you guys because what seemed to be like a simple improvement turned into a very good discussion. And I want to say that being stewards of the neighborhood, you guys came to the table and listened to what the residents had to discuss. I believe we had 3 meetings on this, with the final meeting being at the library. And I believe that all of the residents' concerns were addressed as best as we could. And I think your total investment in that station is going to be $2 million, is it?
The rehab is going to likely exceed $1 million.
So and then with the landscaping features and the things that you're going to be doing for the neighborhood, along with the brick privacy fence to give a noise barrier and barrier between the neighborhood, I'm just very pleased with how willing you guys were to help the residents with some of the concerns that they had. And I do have your phone number for the property management if somebody calls me about the loudspeaker being too loud. But thank you very much. It was a good experience, and hopefully you guys continue to grow.
Yes, thank you. And Trustee Olenichek, thank you for your partnership during the process, too. You were key in helping us connect with our neighbors and helping us to work through the different misunderstandings through the years that we had with different neighbors. So I really appreciate your help and your partnership in the efforts.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the plan looks fantastic. It'll really freshen that area, and what a great investment in the community. So, any other discussion?
How many trips did you have to make down here to get that done?
I think this is 6.
Yeah, I've been at the meetings. You guys are amazing. You really worked this out in the best interest of the community and hopefully Thornton. And I know each and every one of those was bringing you down from Kentucky. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's take the vote then.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And when can we expect to see a new Thornton's there? When will it happen?
Well, at this point, we're going to submit the detailed engineering drawings to Jack and his team for review, and we'll get moving just as soon as we can. Obviously, we're
great.
We're dictated by weather also. So.
Well, we can hardly wait. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming by. Have a safe trip back to Grays Lake and Kentucky. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're on item 19. This is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral. This is for parking variation at 4620 West 103rd Street. This was a 7-0 vote to approve. Petition 2015-01. The petitioner is Kevin O'Kennedy in District 6. Then item 20 tonight is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion, please, on 19 and 20?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Carberry, seconded by Trustee Warder. Any discussion? Let's take the vote.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so we're on item 21 this evening. This is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a subdivision with lot area variation. This is 2 lots at 10520 South Costner Avenue. This was a 7-0 vote to approve. Number 2015-01, petitioner Jason Aaron Heidemann in District 6. 22 tonight is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion on 21 and 22, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Carberry.
Second.
Seconded, I believe that was Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
23 tonight is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a subdivision with side yard variation. This is 3 lots at 5818 West 89th Street. This was a 7-0 vote to approve. Number 2015-2. James A. Kolar Jr. is the petitioner in District 1. And then item 24 is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion on 23 and 24, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Desmond.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion here? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So tonight we're on 25. This is Resolution 150304, a resolution appointing an authorized agent to the IMRF. May I have a motion on item 25, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Vorder,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion here? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
26 tonight is Resolution 150305. This is a resolution authorizing a lease agreement for the Village of Oak Lawn and the Oak Lawn Regional Water System for property owned by the Oak Lawn Park District at 4457 Southwest Highway. May I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Properly moved by Trustee Oliniechek, seconded by Trustee Warder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And we're on 27. This is Resolution 150306, a resolution agreeing to indemnify the state of Illinois for photo enforcement equipment attached to IDOT facilities. May I have a motion, please,
Motion
on
approved.
item 27, properly moved by Trustee Oliniechek,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Warder. Any discussion here? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 28 is the village clerk's report. Jane, you have the floor.
Approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2015-03D, dated 2/10/15, in the amount of $5,773.08.
May I have a motion, please, on item 28A?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Carberry,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Quinlan?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
And a happy Valentine's Day to all. That's it.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, 29, Village President's Report. I just want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting the State of the Village address and the Oaklawn Hilton for making sure every detail was wonderful. It really was a wonderful lunch. I have many, many people to thank for that presentation, and I don't know if I thanked properly during the presentation the village staff who were so conscientious anytime I needed a number or a data point or any help whatsoever, technical stuff. Mr. Swath, thank you. It went off without a hitch, and it was because of you, and I thank you sincerely. I especially appreciated people coming up to the office this morning just to see if everything was okay, did I need anything else? And that kind of support means a lot, so thank you very much. And with that, I'm on item 30. This is a motion to adjourn. Properly moved by trustee Olenichek. Seconded by trustee, I'm going to give it to trustee Quinlan.
Yeah, give it.
Okay, any discussion? Let's take the vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
We are adjourned. Thank you.